You lie a lot. That's how you kind of cope, because you're lying to yourself. So how can you present the real you to everybody else? So you just live this lie after lie. You can't even remember them anymore because you're just trying to make the next person in front of you happy. I grew up in northern Michigan. We always had a nice house out in the country. We always had a lot of acres. It was my mom and my dad and my brother. On the outside, everything just looked great. We were always outside playing. We'd go to church on Sunday, but things weren't the same inside. I went to Catholic service every Sunday with my mom. My dad wouldn't step foot in the church. I didn't know what any of that meant. How we'd go home and then my mom would just not talk to me and my dad would hit me and I'm like, where's God? I mean, I don't get it. And so I didn't even think about him. I hated him. When I was 11, I started contemplating suicide and running away just because it wasn't safe anywhere, with my uncle and my mom or my dad. But he left work and came home and saw the house was empty. And he hot rodded it to my grandma's house, which was almost 2 hours away. And he had a shotgun. He was trying to bust in the doors, and all I remember is hiding under the coffee table. And my mom telling me to shut up. Don't let him know where you're at, because he was going to try to come in and kill my mom or kill himself. He just wanted me. He just kept saying, I want Jackie. And I know he was my abuser, but for whatever reason, I wanted to be with him instead of my mom. They had a lot of parties, so my mom would take me over there. One night from one of the parties, the guy said, I'll walk you home again, and his other friend came with him too, and I had a couple beers. I'm 13. It was just when I started drinking and stuff, checking out, kind of, just trying to deal with the pain. On the way back to my trailer, his friend had pushed me down behind this dumpster. The guy that I had a crush on raped me, and I remember how cold it was. And I couldn't move, but I just stopped. I just stopped struggling. After that period, when I was raped, I really went down in a spiral of starting to drink a lot, just to kind of self-medicate. And I fell in love with every guy I could. That was just my outlet. I wanted to be touched. I wanted to be loved. I wanted to be seen. I got into cocaine and I got into ecstasy was a big one. I remember taking out loans from the bank just to buy it for all my friends so they'd like me. It was just one addictive behavior to another. But I still felt so empty and broken all the time, and I hated myself. People would tease me and call me whore and make up more stories about me, and I was just like, who cares? Then if that's who I am, then that's who I am, and my identity was in what I did. I'd self-medicate, find a guy, hate myself, start the procedure over the next weekend. It was like that for years. But that was kind of my hope. I didn't have God, so I had this baby, and that was my hope at that time for happiness. And when the baby died, my happiness was gone. And I truly lost all my self-worth at that point. I'm not worthy of having children. I'm not worthy of anything. What's my point? I had quite a tolerance at that time, and I could drink a lot, and there's no reason why I should have passed out, but I did. I woke up the next morning. One girl from my team came over in the morning to see how I was, and I just told her what I was going through, and she said, well, you're coming to church with me this weekend. And I said, I don't think so. I'm Like I just tried to kill myself and I told God I hated him and now I'm gonna go to church. And I remember my skin crawling as I walked in. But more than that, it was the shame. I felt like I had to crawl in, like I shouldn't even be able to go in. I sat in the back and Dr. Bob was speaking. I remember looking at the ground and so afraid to look up and so afraid of what people were thinking as they looked at me and how they just saw right through me, like how dirty I was. My whole identity was like whore, liar, thief. I shouldn't be in church. But I just remember they had some part where he's like, close your eyes and imagine Jesus is there. What would he be doing? And I'm like, oh God, he's spitting on me. That's what he's doing. You know what I mean? I didn't know. I didn't know. But I swear, I felt his hands on my face. My face was hot. And he pulled my face up. I know I felt that. I know I did. It still took 2 years before I felt worthy enough to be baptized. I believed God loved me. I believed Jesus died for me. I didn't believe I could be forgiven yet. I didn't believe I could forgive me, and that was for 10 more years. You just take one step closer and you read your Bible and you do these different things, but until you truly forgive yourself, you just don't get it. I have such a freedom now, and I have such a lightness and such a hope in all the blessings he gave me. I have a wonderful marriage and 2 beautiful kids and a great church. I didn't know to know him during the rough times, but he was there the whole time. He was there under the coffee table holding my hand saying, it's okay, I'm gonna get you through this. Like the night I was gonna commit suicide, the next morning, that person from GCC, I didn't even know about the church, that sought me out when no one else was talking to me. That's totally God. And he was there in all of that, telling me I was beautiful and that I was there and I loved you. Coming out of the hiding, I don't know how to describe it. It's not like standing on a mountain or anything. I just feel like I've been pushed out of the water. Like I feel clean for the first time.